What is up? We are here playing Victoria 3, and we are going to do a starting steps video for playing as Japan. Japan is a country that it has two features that are pretty unique to it. The first is that it's an isolationist government, which means where its trading is isolationist, which means it cannot trade with anyone at the start of the game, so everything you do is internally compromised inside your own economy. We can take a look at the law here, which actually makes it a nice nation to start out playing as learning. Let's take a look. Isolationism. So you cannot trade with anyone else, but you get a ton of extra authority. The second feature that's pretty unique is that you have the samurai as your military class, and they have the bakufu ideology, which makes it a lot harder to pass anything that weakens the landowners, which puts you in a bit of a quandary because you are trying to pass laws. You are trying to get rid of serfdom, so you can pass different economic system, different taxation, different trade system, but getting rid of serfdom is really hard because so many people oppose it because there's this block of both the shogunate and the samurai, and then it's hard to get rid of the samurai's power because it will be most of the stuff that the landowners like, the samurai will also like because of the unique bakufu thing. If we take a look, the two things we can pass early on are professional army, which we get lucky in this run. I've done this about 4 times. This isn't always available at the start. Peasant levies give plus 25% shogunate strength. Professional army does not. If we take a look, why we are lucky is we have... I've done this run a couple times, and the shogun has not always supported professional army. Let's take a look. Maybe I got unlucky before and he just had a ideology that supported it, but okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to try and enact professional army. The reason being, peasant levies plus landowner strength. This, not plus landowner strength. So that's the first thing. Okay, that's thing 1. Second is we want to empower 2 interest groups in order to get rid of the landowners. We're going to go academia because the 2 interest groups we are trying to support are the Intelligentsia, so we will bolster them. We also have a ton of authority because isolationism gives you an enormous amount of authority, and the Industrialists, which will bolster. A lot of what we'll center around doing at the start is going to be making sure that the Industrialists and the Intelligentsia gain a lot of power, because when they gain power, the landowners lose it. Okay. Moving over, in terms of where we're spending the rest of our authority, we are going to enact taxes. Now, it's important to note the taxation level here. It's regressive with all the starting modes of taxation, which means it disproportionately taxes poor people, so you really don't want to tick up the slider if you could avoid doing it. We're going to implement a bunch of sin taxes, and we're also going to tax services, because services tax gets a lot. And we will do this until we're out of authority. Up there. I think T is the next one. And we will try and avoid taxing anything. So for example, furniture, the rate on this tax rate is better than porcelain and luxury clothes. We do not want to tax furniture because our poor pops consume it. So we want to avoid that. So now we have a rather large balance to work with, but we're going to do something else as well. Now, this is a bit risky. I don't know if everyone's supposed to do it. It seems to be that on this patch, at least 1.0, the AI is not very aggressive at exploiting you when you have a small military or when you delete your military. So what we are going to do is we're going to go into buildings, we're going to go into development, and we're going to look at our barracks. And what we're going to do is delete every barracks that's not in our capital. That way, if we have a civil war, we'll have a bigger army, but that's not the main reason. The main reason is... right now we're paying 8k in military wages, and we want to pay nothing because we want to have more construction centers. So we're going to tick all of these down, except the ones in Kansai. Now this is high risk. You don't necessarily have to do it, but I think it pays off in the long run. And then if you get attacked, you get attacked. I don't know. So, this is what we are doing. This also works especially well for really small countries that have large militaries at the start. Okay, So that's the first thing. Now we're going to talk about what we are producing, and what we're going to do is we're going to build a whole bunch of construction centers. I think this is a good amount for now. These construction centers will make wood really expensive, so what we're going to do is get wood. Not by building wood, but we're going to build a tooling workshop. More on that in a bit, but we are going to unpause as I explain it. Okay, so we're also going to lose our power rank, but we don't care that much. Okay, if we take a look at the tooling workshop, we'll see that it's Merchant Guild owned. In order to become privately owned, we have to use pig iron tools. We can switch to pig iron tools and then do that. While it's merchant owned by the merchant guilds, it will empower the petite bourgeoisie, and then when it's privately owned, it'll empower the industrialists. We wanted to empower the industrialists. Moving to looking at logging, I think this one starts out with some logging. Merchant guild owned. If we switch to sawmills, which require tools, we get both a bigger output of wood, and they become owned by the industrialists. So the first order of business is going to be switching all of our logging to, after building construction centers, is switching all of our logging to sawmills. That way we will empower the industrialists, who are currently marginalized, but then we will empower them up, and the petite bourgeoisie will get weaker. Okay. So, once we get the tooling workshop up, we will slowly switch over sawmills. We will actually need two tooling workshops, but once the tooling workshop is up, then we can switch to pig iron tools after we have iron, which will make it into industrialist based. Okay. Oop. It's been bad. Oh, I did grab academia. Okay. I thought for a second I did not grab it. Okay. So right now we have a 30k balance. We want this to be negative, but just slightly negative. And after we finish the tooling, we will still need to produce more logging camps, because the price of wood is going to get very high. You know, we will actually put a couple of these down at the bottom because the price of wood is going to get so high, and we'll avoid a little bit, we'll slow down a little bit just to not take as much. We don't want it in Chubu. Chubu is actually producing hardwood at the start. We'll manually cancel it. Okay. Now, construction centers greatly increase demand for wood, and a lot of other stuff we want to build has higher demand for wood, and so wood's going to get very expensive. Construction centers also demand fabric. We don't want to build too many of these, and the reason being, they empower the landowners because they're owned by the landowners, and we cannot change the production method very easily, so we're just going to build two. Here and here seem fine. Okay. And we are enacting professional army, which will weaken the landowners. Alright, once the cotton finishes, we actually want to build one whaling station here. We actually have a journal entry at the start that has the whaling industry, and we also need an admiral. We notably don't need any ships, we just need the admiral himself. So we can go here and recruit admiral. And we will take anyone who's not in the shogunate, which we don't like that they're in the shogunate. We'll actually... So they will get mad at us if we kick their guys out, but I don't think we're going to be making him mad right now, so we're going to just retire him to pull... Oh, he's ideologies reformer. We'll keep him. We'll retire this guy. And the interest group will be mad at us for 5 years, but we don't care that much. Okay. Pass professional army. Now the shogunate is weaker. Now, the next law to pass is getting rid of local police force, which gives landowners political strength, and getting a dedicated police force. But if we take a look here, this is a big opposition. We aren't going to be able to pass this. When we do want to pass it, we're going to want to put peasants and or Intelligentsia in the government to help us pass it, but I don't think we can try and pass it right now. So we're going to kind of just sit around. We could pass National Guard. Why don't we do that, actually? because the opposition is very small right now, which is the Intelligentsia, and the Intelligentsia is just going to get bigger, and we want this law. We want guaranteed liberties at the very end, but this one's okay for now. Can support more declared interest. Not very important, but we will get messages about China. Okay. We're still running a big surplus, so we'll actually build our construction centers first. These two. And then we will look to put more in once the tooling starts. A little bit of waiting around here. We can talk about tax. After academia, we're going to go for a cotton gin, which will make it so we don't have to build as many cotton plantations, and then go into the lathe. The reason we want lathe is because we want dye workshops for the textile manufactories and lathes for the furniture manufactories. This will allow our buildings to be owned by capitalists, which will increase the power of the Oyos. Alright, once this finishes, there will actually be no demand for tools, so they won't be productive, so what we have to do is we have to create demand for tools. So we're going to go into our logging camps, one of them, and we're going to put up sawmills. This, of course, will create a shortage. They need tools. We actually did a little too early. But sorry, we will do sawmills once that finishes. And then this will now be owned by an industrialist instead, which is what we want. And it will also create demand for tools, which will cause the tooling manufacturer to be able to employ POPs. If we don't do this, they won't produce any tools at all. And so we need to kickstart the tooling industry by creating a demand for tools, but we don't want to switch all of our things over at once, because that would be a bad time for us. Okay, so we're going to switch over now. And then once the other one finishes, we'll switch... not all of them over. We'll switch another one over. Actually, we'll wait. Oh wow. Just incredibly unlucky to just pip National Guard on the first tick when it's only 9%. This is the hero run. The Intelligentsia doesn't like it, but we won't need their help for a little bit. And this allows us to make use of some of our extra bureaucracy that we had going around for a while. So now we have reduced revolution secession and less radicalization. So that's something. We are going to need to build more bureaucratic administrations anyways because we have bad tax capacity. Wood is expensive, as is expected, because we are trying to get out of the wood problems by building tooling workshops. I think we already built one, didn't we? Yeah. So we only need 2. So we can take that out. And we're now running a surplus, which we don't want to do, so we're going to build more construction centers. I guess we actually want the... or whatever, we're just going to build the 2. And then we're going to try and rapidly increase like the tools and the consumer goods. So why don't we put the consumer goods in our queue that we're going to be working on. The price of furniture and textile mills should be high. And then we also want to create a food industry. Oop. We're actually going to cancel the least productive of these. We're going to cancel this. And the reason being is we want to put in a decree for increasing manufacturing. We're going to build a lot of our manufacturing in Kansai, looking to play off of both that decree as well as economies of scale. The cat agrees. Once this finishes, we will switch all of our logging camps over to sawmills, and it does. I don't think that's enough to support it, but we are going to be switching once an iron mine finishes, we are going to be switching these to pig iron tools, which will make them both privately owned as well as they will create more tools. Which is the main reason why we're researching the tech we're researching right now, is we are trying to also get privately owned stuff on our consumer goods. Notably the clothing industries as well as the furniture. There we go. Words. So that is why we're going for tooling like absolute first. And as soon as this iron mine finishes, we're going to wait till the next Monday and then put this in. Or it's going to finish on a Monday because that's paradox. Okay. Suddenly we're going to be producing no tools. And then it will kick up. Okay. So all that is handled. Let's go into here, and we're going to switch over the production method to sweeteners, because sweeteners will make it privately owned. We're also going to do pot stills to make booze. Now, long term, we want canneries. The reason we want canneries is because the middle class will consume grain. We don't want to build a bunch of grain farms. They will also consume groceries. This will leave the grain for the lower class. Canneries makes it so that you use much more fish relative to grain instead of jars, which uses more grain. So that switch will allow us to not have to build any grain stuff, which would empower the landowners, which we don't want to do. If we look, the Buddhists gained a lot of power, the landowners lost a lot of power, and we're looking for the eventual uptick of the groups we're supporting, which will take a little bit of time. Now, I think I was naughty boy and forgot. Nope, the university hasn't finished yet. So once that finishes, we will build 2 unis. And to support that, we will probably want a paper mill at some point. So we'll put that down now. And we have 31 construction running at a slight deficit. We are cranking out. Price of iron and tools is not too bad. If we can take a look here, it's probably going to be consumer goods that's expensive. No, it's wood and then the consumer goods. Okay. And we're building the log camps and then consumer goods. We actually probably only need 1 plantation. That'll be fine, I think. Might not be. We'll see. The whaling station is just to finish our quest thing. Actually probably don't need it that early. We're gonna pause here so we can move the whaling station down. We're gonna build a couple of unis right here. We're gonna kick them to the top of the queue and then move the wood thing up that's almost finished. Okay. Oh yes. And then we are gonna switch here and research the cotton gin, which will decrease our need for cotton plantations. Notably, construction industries do take fabric, so it will be important, but we don't want to build them because they empower the landowners. Such as the problems. Okay. Perfect. Alright, what will we need to do next? Just kind of thinking to myself here. We have the consumer goods coming out. We're going to need more than just that on the consumer goods, so why don't we just do that, more than just that on the consumer goods. And then we still have this taxation capacity hanging over our head. And so, what the problem is that we don't have other use for the bureaucracy. Peasants are happy. That's good. If we had laws that allowed us to have institutions or more institutions, we could do this. We don't want to increase this because this increases the landowners' political strength. So. Let's take a look. It's steadily decreasing. Can't quite go after it now. Gonna take a look at the Qing and see if they hate us. Their relations are poor, but their attitude's conciliatory. Oh, were we not improving relations with them? We meant to be. Whoops. Yeah, one way this run could go extremely badly is if they attack you after you delete all your military, so just something, food for thought. Our economy's going burr a little bit. How are we doing on radicals? Little radical growth, more loyalist growth. Notably, industrialists are quite happy with us. Because their standard of living is going way up, because we are focusing on building buildings that are centered around the industrialists and making them very productive. Another thing we can do, the Intelligentsia is upset with us. What we could do is we could pay them more. We don't really care about this though. The less prestige, and we're going to be trying to pass laws that make them happy. Seeing that we're making money, we don't like that. So we're going to build a construction center somewhere. Gonna look at the strategic regions lens, see who's interested here. It's just China. Yeah, can't have us making money, that's not allowed. Yeah, we already recruited our admiral, so we just need to build another whaling industry there. Let's take a look at our market prices. Is wood coming down? It's still quite expensive. And the consumer goods we're building up are going to use wood, so we are going to actually build more. Establish a university was completed. We'll take a look at that in a second. Tools are going up in price. We're almost done with cotton gin, so then we can go lathe. And from lathe into canneries. Really just kind of centering all this early production around trying to weaken the landowners as much as possible. We don't want to build farms. The cotton plantation was, lathe is spreading to us, but we want to just pass it. I believe tech spread is like a flat amount, so like the more things you have spreading, it just gets distributed, so researching stuff that has a spread I don't think is disadvantageous. But lathes is what we want anyways. I don't know how we actually have... So we actually have some dyes, and I don't know where our demand for dyes is. If we look at the market... We actually have a demand of... we have 75 buy orders for dyes. I don't know where it comes from. I'm not sure exactly. Oh, maybe it's the clothing industries at the early on. That's probably what it is. Do you use a little bit of dyes? No, yeah, I already checked this one. Because we want to switch to dye workshops. Because Merchant Guild owned to privately owned. Wow, meat's expensive. Well, I think we're going to expand our whaling industry then. Oh, we're already set to expand it. Okay, that's fine. We will do that. We're running a nice little deficit here. And we're up to producing 3 buildings at once. Go us. China, please don't attack us. The landing seems really rough anyways, like your ability to land, so... I'm not sure if that's like a game balance thing or a bug, but I had tons of difficulties doing any landings, naval invasions. Which I suppose this is a terrible country to play then, but... here we are. You are radicalizing, and you're radicalizing the Shoguns. Ooh, intergroup leader retires, the Industrialists. Let's see the new guy. Okay, I wanted to go to the details screen, but no. It is what it is. He's a moderate, okay, whatever. Not good, not bad. We want this guy to get in power so we can get tech costs, but what did the monthly report say? This is so chill, having no interest, being all isolated. We don't have like very much going on here. It's just very mellow. But why don't we kick up the speed a little? Look at our prices. Hardwood is going up as well, so I know we start out with, I think it's in Chubu or whatever. They start out producing hardwood, so we'll crank that to the top. Down the price of hardwood. There's not that many sell orders and buy orders, so it's not a big deal. Now there's a big demand for fruit, and I kind of don't want to fill it because I don't want to build an orchard. It's a little unfortunate. Maybe we can build one. I don't know. It would be a wheat farm. Hokkaido we don't want to build that much on anyways. But I think people just eat substitute goods, so that's fine. Like the grocer is another middle class item. I think we already set it to... yeah, use sweeteners, yeah we did. And they take in, right now they're taking in grain and sugar, and after we switch, they'll take in, I think, no sugar, and instead, oops, sorry. This will make it so they take in less grain and instead use fish. Alright, and so after this, what does our queue look like? Just logging camps. Okay. I think we're gonna need more tools for what is to come. And I kind of want to create steel mills, but we don't have a... Gold has been discovered in Hokkaido, so we might start getting a lot of gold from minting. Having a think now of what it's going to look like when we're starting to get into steel. We could do this to create a demand for steel. To make more tools. I kind of like that. It is a level 2 tech, so it'll go a little bit slower. We could also look to do, you know, some of these level 1 techs, like get colonialism. I think we'll go colonialism next, actually, to make sure we get the rest of Hokkaido, and Japan, or sorry, Russia does not. Our deficit's getting a little big, so I think we're okay. It might be the case that wood is expensive, and that's why. But we're gonna bring that down. The price of fabric has risen as well. So we're gonna build... let's see where we have a lot of peasants. Kansai, yeah. We're gonna build it in Kanto, and we will complete a quest once we finish the whaling station. It will also give us meat, which is kind of expensive right now. Sugar's going to be up there too. Maybe it's not worth using this production method. Because this would eliminate the liquor and... No, it's probably worth it. Oh, where are we getting sugar from? Completed and worked. But where are we getting sugar from? I'm a little confused. I guess maybe we'll pause it because I don't even know where we're getting the sugar from. We have some, but not enough to support a lot. We're going to take a quick look through our buildings because I'm not sure exactly where we're getting from. Well, we'll switch this over, so this will give us fruit and sugar, which we're low in both of them, and the wheat farms. Okay, it's our farms. We could switch to harvesting tools, which will make these a little bit more productive by decreasing the number of laborers needed. I think that's the most important, but butchering tools will increase our meat output, so we'll do that. And then iron mines, I think that... go forward. Got Pastures for free. We do need to manually... We want these all to be on fishing trawlers, I think. But clippers are going to get more expensive. We'll see if clippers stay expensive. If they drop back down, we won't do anything about it. If they stay expensive, we will build production. Let's see. And we're building consumer goods now, and then also queued up is various other things. We are going to need more iron mines to support more tools. Which we have coming up. Alright, let's see. Low market access where? Hokkaido. Rates. They said we shouldn't build anything there. What did we build? We didn't build anything. We got gold fields. Okay. Well, that's not our fault. And we can get rid of this by putting a port there. Which I think we might do. Well, actually, port's not very useful because we don't do any trading. Never mind, I will not do that. The port is... If we look at our buildings, we're actually going to take a look at our ports, and we're going to set them all to anchorages. Because we make no use of convoys at this point. Because we trade with no one. Price of meat's going up, but we did a bunch of stuff to make more meat. Okay. We're currently producing all the stuff that's going up in price. Alright, so now we will switch our textile mills over, and then furniture. So textile mills and furniture. Ooh, and glass. We probably want to start producing some glass, actually, at some point. Because I think that we can switch over our... I always forget about the urban center. Where is it? We can switch this over to market squares. Once we have glass. Alright, we will do colonization now. And that will give us a lot of pass while we wait for the Shogun to become weak enough to do something about. I think our economy's been growing pretty steadily. Overseas, okay. might get a nice kick in the standard of living going up once we start finishing this stuff. Hey, kitty. Alright, I guess we'll speed 5 for a little bit. Okay, that isn't the tech that we did, but now we have enough authority to afford some more stuff. We could do an edict, or we could add a tax. We'll add porcelain tax, which is not a lot. We will not be building another construction center. Instead, we will start upgrading to iron frame buildings at some point. In order to do that, we're going to need more iron, which we're already working on. And why are we... Our costs are going up, which I assume is because wood price is going up, yeah. We will also increase wood here, because they are producing our hardwood. Where is your thing? Less of a priority, though. So as we finish these farms and these lumber camps, this should bring down, yeah, our government expenses. So mainly just waiting now. I suppose we can take a look at the interest group's power while I pet the cat. The clout, yeah, it's not going down as fast as I would like. We are down 9% from the start. Still not enough for where I feel comfortable trying to change some of the laws. Unless we want to go to war at some point. We're gonna... See, the thing is, we're gonna need to change a few laws. We're nowhere near being able to push serfdom out. Because both the samurai and them oppose the samurai very strongly, but notably, this won't make the samurai so mad that they rebel, because they're really happy with us right now. And then one of the reasons they're really happy with us is because they've been rich for a while. Oh, we forgot to do this. Okay, so one of the reasons why I deleted all the military was for this reason that I forgot about, which you can kick mill wages up, which will increase their approval, and it's really not that much to pay, which will make them rich as an interest group, which will gain them a little bit of power, but also make it so they don't get pissy when you try and pass stuff they don't like. I forgot to do that at the start. Okay, that was actually an important step that I forgot in terms of setting up. And one of the big reasons for deleting your military at the beginning. Because now, if we take a look at the politics, and we try and abolish serfdom, it's going to stall out is the main problem, but they barely oppose it. But the problem is the Shogun's 41% is too big, and the plus is not, it's not big enough. Yeah, wood, thanks. So do we like this guy or do we not? He's a theocrat. I think we don't like that. We want someone who is, you know, progressive. And one of the reasons we're building up iron and tools is so we can switch to iron frame buildings in our construction center, which adds a lot of construction, but it's very expensive. So, especially if you don't have a lot of iron. So we need to get that up and running. Now let's see, the iron have another production method we can use? I don't think they do. I think we need, yeah, atmospheric engine pump, which maybe the next tech we want to research after colonialism. Let's see, are they owned by the... Who owns these now and who owns them later? This requires atmospheric engine pumps, so that's going to be the next tech. Which unfortunately means we're not getting canneries, but I think we can live with that. I think I could pass. I guess I should have looked. Yeah. I should have looked beforehand to see if I could even pass it. When in doubt, I guess a couple logging camps. Alright, now we're going to try and pass laws. We're going to go for the atmospheric engine so that we will be using our industrialists in the iron mines, which we are going to be expanding. Laws, colonial affairs, which is easier to pass. They're both pretty equal. I don't know which one of these is overall better. We're going to go exploitation though, because it's slightly easier to pass. And we're going to have a bureaucratic shortfall. Perfect. So now it makes sense to build a government administration in Kansai. Probably build two. And then to support it, we're going to build paper mill. Perfect. Oh, what can they contribute to? Nope, they have no investment pool under our current economic system. I think they would if we were using agrarianism, but we are traditionalism, which sucks. Which is why we want to liberalize and get rid of serfdom. Can we go to agrarianism? I don't think we can. Oh, we could go to for agrarianism. It'd be really hard to pass. Well, the Shogunate doesn't even... Okay, whatever. They do not even support it. But things are coming along quite nicely. We aren't going to build another construction center because we're just going to switch to iron frame buildings and some. And that's going to be how we work. So no new construction centers, even when we're running a surplus. But we're going to need to be about 3K positive before we want to switch over. Which we are not. Tools have shot down in price. Perfect. It's going to make the iron frame construction centers much cheaper, which we're only going to implement in one place at a time. Yeah, so this is going to cost us 5 extra thousand. Cultural exclusion. I'd be down with that. Over national supremacy? Hell yeah, brother. Although having all this authority right now is very nice, because all these consumption taxes are allowing us to build a ton. And they are taxing the rich. Let's see how they're doing. Yeah, they got a little stronger. Alright, can't all be winners. Intelligentsia notably is coming on up through the ranks, and Industrialists as well. The petite bourgeoisie will disappear into nothingness. Preserve no colonial affairs. Well, that's not happening. Yeah, I think we could go speed 5. Classic Japanese experience. think about what we want after this. I think we're gonna want more iron. Because iron frame buildings take up a lot of iron. And then probably... Wow, we've just, like, gotten so lucky on our rolls every time. I think we've just one-tapped, like, each one. So, we're gonna colonize there. Just so used. I have PTSD of just always being Malaria, but yeah, no, that's not good. We're gonna kick these to the top, or we're gonna finish these first, but then government admins. We might need filing cabinets. I don't even think our government admins per level add that much. I'm used to playing on a higher... Oh, we already have filing cabinets. They add... How much each, though? Don't make me do math. So, like 50 each. Yikes. Well, luckily, our taxes... We have a ton of... Well, actually, this is not okay. We should have kicked those to this. Well, I wasn't expecting to just get it on the first shot. We were just, like, incredibly lucky. Gonna look at what else has insufficient. The next one is Chubu. And then after Chubu, it's... kind of just need them everywhere. We'll do that. And then we're going to need to move the paper on up as well. I think logging is still expensive. This is a big deficit caused by our this. So, could have played this out a little bit smarter, but it's okay. We are still happy with what's going on. Standard of living dropped. Radicals shooting up a little bit. I think we still have a lot of loyalists, so we're still okay. Market prices. We need more clothes and groceries. So I don't think that's in the queue right now. So we will put that in there. Groceries. Clothes. Perfect. And then how much is this gonna... We're gonna go from 275 when that's not yet built to... Moment of truth, because we might have to cancel some of these 278 to... Or they have to... They also have to staff up. It's not instant ticking up. So... 50-ish? Two more. Where else are we running insufficient tax capacity? Kanto, Chubu, Kyushu. Alright, so I guess I'll throw another one in each of these two places. Alright, let's make even numbers, and then kick these guys up to the top. paper is going to go way up. Gonna check my relations with these guys. Doing pretty good. Urbanize. So urbanize is gonna happen because we're building so much industry here. That's gonna happen somewhat early. Do we have our glass thing up? We do. We forgot to create a demand for glass. Let's do that now. Yeah, it's like not employed at all. We're gonna go to the urban center and put in market squares. We can also do this with coal. And it's coming back down. Glass is expensive. That should drive employment. Oh, it's already fully employed. It's coming back down. I actually want to prioritize glass production, I think. Not make porcelain. And, let's see, are we currently Merchant Guild? So we want to switch to leaded glass, I think. This is our own glass place. I guess I didn't even check that beforehand. It's not. Okay, so we want to make leaded glass. Let's kick one of these up. And then back down under the government admins. What's the production method on paper? Yeah, we don't have sulfide loading. Okay. And we are getting out of this. Slowly. That's actually helping our taxation capacity in these places, so we should be making more than we were before once all these finish. Yeah, we got a pretty high population. They launched an uprising against us, so this is why we didn't delete the entire military as well, or one of the reasons. They do just have... I think we need to mobilize that early. Holy, that is nice. Maybe we'll just fix all of it. I didn't realize it was going to be that much. It like adjusted back down. I nearly had a heart attack thinking that was a different type of war. And we will kick this up again and switch this to leaded glass. And then we will switch them all to leaded glass in a couple moments. Now we are moving the production method. See, notably, it's going to be Merchant Guild before leaded glass, after leaded glass. And we don't care that we're going to lose money doing it. We're not a big deal. Also, it's because the lead is expensive and now we're making it cheaper. We can institute. We don't have higher colonial affairs. Possible. No, because we don't have enough government admin. So what we're going to do is going to look at the biggest one of these. just can't, still can't say, so we're gonna make another government admin. And I'm sure that eating all this paper is expensive, and our price of paper is probably really high. That's clothes and groceries, okay. I think our settler's free now because they declared war on us. So very nice. Things are going quite swimmingly. I think we will turn on pig iron, or turn on this. Iron's gonna... The iron mine's fully populated though. Yeah, but they're not productive, so we will actually turn it on and make them productive. Gotta clear our queue. Things are going very well. Let's see. Laws. This will be really hard to pass, and it'd be better just to abolish serfdom. The problem is we need to make these guys stronger, notably Intelligentsia and Industrialists are who we're focused on. And they're annexed. Which I think is overall good for us. Once this finishes, I think we'll look to increase our colonial affairs investment. And then next tech, we will probably have to go for the anti-malaria. And then we might want to start building some arms, actually. The problem is we can't export the arms. Motor industry is building, and then we get the atmospheric engine mine, which we want to implement in a bunch of our places, but first we need coal mines, actually, so. And then society. We'll have to go with medical degrees, I think. To get pharmaceuticals, and then from pharmaceuticals into quinine for when our colony finishes. We will be switching elsewhere. And why can we not do this? We need more bureaucracy? Okay, that's fair enough. We're gonna put down another one in Kanto. And I don't mind expanding the bureaucracy a ton at this point in the game because they are owned by the Intelligentsia, and so overall we're happy with that. Also, we're increasing tax capacity in these states, which is going to help. I think we will have to build one naval yard, naval base at some point. That way we will be able to transport to our colony later on. Are you still isolated? Oh, Japanese here is isolated. Okay. Okay, well that is the marker for an hour. I think this is a good, strong way to start a run for Japan. Let's do this. Yeah, we don't care about this interest group that much anyways. But I think this is a good way, strong way to start for Japan. You're focused on, you know, trying to pass these laws. We got really lucky with the professional army being easily passable at the start. You could just re-roll to get this. Also trying to focus on your manufacturing and moving your industries from, you know, being owned by the Merchant Guild to privately owned, and then focusing on manufacturing and not farming, because farming will empower the landowners. And then also regarding budget, you know, focusing on consumption taxes, not moving up here, deleting the military and paying them extra, all these same like fairly min-maxy things that you can do to try and construct as much as possible. I think we're like really ahead of the game in regards to construction. We do have to be a little scared of Qing, but as long as we maintain good relations with anyone who's interested in Japan, we should be pretty good. Moving forward, I think we're going to try and colonize this place, because this is one of the few places that only has regular malaria, which gives a pretty big malice, and it's also pretty close to home. And so, I think that's a good place to go. Suppose we could look around a little bit, but like all here is like severe malaria, which is like impossible to colonize. So that's kind of the plan moving forward with what we've got going on. Once, in regards to laws, I'm not sure if we're going to go for abolishing serfdom next. Notice there's only 25% support. It might be easier to do dedicated police force, which has 33% support, by putting the Intelligentsia in government. And so this might be how we go about doing things in order to make the landowners even weaker, because they are getting a 10% bonus right now. Also, this only helps turmoil. This helps with standard of living, which is better. This is kind of my favorite of these texts anyways, so it's got to get passed at some time, but the problem is, man, the landowners are still so strong. Maybe when they get down to around 40%, or if you can figure out another way to make them weaker. We're trying right now taxing the rich with these consumption taxes, which affect mostly the rich because the landowners are rich, and trying to figure that out. But anyways, hopefully this has been informative / interesting, and, you know, have a good one. If you feel like liking, comment, subscribing, doing the YouTube algorithm stuff, that helps out. And yeah, see you on the other side.